Hey, welcome back everybody. This is 219 Football, and today I am going to be bringing you my final top 50 players for the 2025 NFL Draft. I've scouted a lot of players over the past few months, and I have nailed it down to my final top 50. So this is going to be ranging from plenty of players that I'm lower on, higher on, and you're going to be getting my full thoughts on them in today's video. So yeah, if you do enjoy the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more NFL and draft content. And since there's 50 players we have to go through, I'm gonna get started pretty early here. So we are going to be a bit more brief on the earlier players in this just because we have 50 to get through. Starting off at number 50, we have Tyler Booker, the interior offensive lineman out of Alabama. And I say interior offensive lineman, he's a guard, whether it's left guard or right guard. He's definitely not a center. But Tyler Booker comes in with great measurables, 6'4.5", 321, 34.5-inch arms with 11-inch hands. Just really fantastic size, and honestly, this would be good size for tackle. But of course, he definitely is not a tackle. Tyler Booker, a strictly power gap scheme guard who has some bust potential. I will say that if his technique is really kind of similar to what Evan Neal's was coming out, and obviously Evan Neal has not panned out. He does lean a lot in the run game, which it does lead to some beautiful pancakes, but it also, can mess him up a bit. But yeah, he leans a lot in the run game. His pad level is pretty high in terms of pass pro, but overall pass pro is pretty good in terms of strength and anchor. But the real problems arise with Tyler Booker when it comes to his finesse. He just can't really move all that well. So there is some bust potential for Tyler Booker, and I do think he is extremely scheme dependent, and also just not a good athlete at all. But yeah, Tyler Booker coming in at number 50. If he goes to the right place, he could be a very good player. If he goes to the wrong place, he might be a horrible player. And next up, we have my first player that I'm definitely lower on than consensus, and number 49 is Derek Harmon, the interior defensive lineman out of Oregon. So Derek Harmon also has pretty good size like Tyler Booker, 6'4", 313, 34 and 3/8-inch arms, 10 and 3/8-inch hands, and just overall for me, there's just Derek Harmon does everything pretty good, but there's just nothing that stands out for me in terms of Derek Harmon. So I think at the NFL level, he will be a very solid player. I think you'll be getting a pretty good investment in him if you take him in the second round. In the first round, I don't know if he's going to be worth a first round pick for me, just because he's not the greatest at anything. Like, he's pretty good at run defense. He's got speed and power, but he doesn't excel at any of those things for me. But he's got good size, and he's got good ability to defend everything for you, but he just won't. I feel like for me, he won't impact the game a way you would want a first round pick to impact it. But I could be wrong. I know the consensus is very high on Derek Harmon, and some people have him going as high as 13 to the Dolphins. That's way too rich for me, but I could see it. And yeah, Derek Harmon, number 49, someone I'm definitely lower on, but I can see him working out in the NFL. And now at 48, we have another defensive lineman, and this is going to be Princely Umanmielen from Ole Miss, the edge rusher. And Princely Umanmielen, for me, just really kind of has one move, and that's I'm going to get around the edge and be faster than you. And while his 40 time isn't great, his 10-yard split was pretty good at a 1.62, so he definitely has that explosiveness off the line. And yeah, he has decent size, 6'4", 244, so he's a bit light, but of course his play style requires him to be light because his only way to win so far is just going around the edge, and then he has a few counter moves off of that. But overall, just very limited in terms of the pass rush moveset for me, and he just really has no power at all. And then run defense is also very lacking. Yeah, he's got great explosiveness off the edge, and in terms of that speed rush, he is probably one of, if not the best in the class at it. He just absolutely torched Georgia the whole game on just doing the same thing, and they just couldn't defend it. But I think he just needs to develop a bit more moves in the NFL, and that lack of power will kind of lower his ceiling. So he has a good floor because that one movie's good at is he's so good at it, and he's a pretty good athlete. But overall, Prince Umanmielen kind of has a lower ceiling than a lot of the other edge rushers I'm going to talk about. So Umanmielen comes at 48, has some potential, but lower ceiling because of lack of power. Alright, and now we are getting to one of my guys in this draft. Number 47, we have Devin Neal, the running back out of Kansas. I talked about it in my top 10 running back short. If you guys want to go watch that, and go ahead. But Devin Neal, I know he's not this great athlete, but he just plays football well, and that's why I like him so much. He plays running back well. That's all I can really say. I mean, he has great vision. I think he's very explosive. Even if he doesn't have great long speed, I think he's explosive, and he changes directions well. He has good agility, elusiveness, and other than his 40 time, he's a pretty good athlete. He had a good vertical, good broad jump, and he has good contact balance. He can break tackles, and most of all, he's a great receiving back. He can catch passes out of the backfield. He can run routes for you. I think this is a 3-down player at the next level, maybe with a year or two of development. But yeah, I just really like Devin Neal. He may not be the athlete that some of these other running backs in this class are, but I just really like him because he's just good at football, good at playing running back, and I think he's going to be a good player in the NFL, and I'm very much higher on him than consensus, coming in my top 50, which a lot of people would not even possibly put him in their top 100, but I really like Devin Neal. I think he's going to be a big sleeper in this class, and I think he's going to show some people that you don't need to have insane long speed to be a good player at the NFL. So Devin Neal comes in at 47 for me. And now we are going to have Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State at number 46. Someone I am again lower on. If you watch my top 10 receiver short, I explained it in there a little bit, but I'm going to go a little more in depth in here. 6'1", 202. You might think that's good size, and it is, but I think he's just going to be limited to the slot, even with the good size. I don't think his playstyle allows him to play on the outside consistently, especially in the NFL. But Egbuka, I guess I'll go over what is good about him. He has really, really great hands. He will not really ever drop passes. And his route running in the medium area is very good. He gets open pretty consistently. And just overall has a really high floor as a player. But what I am not as higher on him than the draft community is just his route running. I think he has good route running, but I don't think he has elite separation ability, and he's just not a fantastic athlete. I think he's a good athlete, but he doesn't have great long speed, and his run after catch ability also is kind of lacking for me, especially in the games I watched. His run after catch ability just is kind of lacking for me, and just he doesn't have that elite separation ability, and I think he struggles with physicality, and he's not great in terms of releases, and he doesn't have much experience on the outside, so I don't think he's going to be able to play an outside role. Maybe he could morph into being a half and half, kind of a half slot, half outside receiver eventually in the NFL, but we'll see. But I think he's primarily a slot receiver, which lowers his value, and I don't see elite separation ability that I would want from a first round pick. And he has good hands, but not great run after catch ability. So Emeka Egbuka, I'm definitely lower on than consensus. He comes in at 46 for me. And now is someone I am again lower on. This is Jahdae Barron out of Texas. I know we're coming in with a lot of heaters here, but Jahdae Barron overall, I just think he's a zone slot corner in the NFL. And I know we just saw the value of slot corner skyrocket because of how well Cooper DeJean played this year, but for me, it does lower his value. I know he played outside at Texas this season, but 29, the under 30-inch arms is really just not good. And I will say I didn't see that 4.39 speed on tape, but I know he has it in there now, as well as a 1.50 10-yard split, which is really good. So good athlete, Jahdae Barron is, and I think he's pretty solid in zone coverage. I don't think he's great in man coverage though, so he'll have to go to a zone-heavy scheme. I think he's a slot corner, and the value is just not there for me in the first round, especially not in the top 15 like some people have talked about. I mean, he's pretty good in run defense as well. He's willing to come up and tackle, but I think he's just a solid player at the NFL level. I don't think he's a superstar, but I think he's good in zone, less good in man, doesn't really have the length to play in a man-heavy scheme, so I think he's scheme dependent, and he doesn't have that ceiling for me. And next up, we have Ozzy Trapilo from Boston College, offensive tackle, first tackle on this list so far. So Trapilo is a pretty good athlete, and he also has great size, standing at 6'8", 316, only 33-inch arms, but he also has 10 3/8-inch hands, so he's definitely not a guard like a lot of the tackles in this class are. But overall with Ozzy, he's just kind of solid in both pass pro and run blocking. He's strong. He really strong in his lower half, especially. I think his lower half, he drives well. He gets off the ball pretty well, and his upper body is not as strong as you would want it to be, but I think his lower body helps make up for it. He has a good anchor in pass pro, good strength, good hand placement. I do think at all levels his pad level is pretty high in both pass pro and run in the run game, so I think he can improve that. But overall, he's just solid in all aspects, and I think he's going to be a pretty good tackle at the NFL level. I wouldn't bet on him in the first round, though, because there are some issues, and he's not as flexible as some of the other tackles up higher than him. So Ozzy Trapilo can be a pretty good player at the NFL level, has some power, and yeah, I like him. And now at 43, we are going to have Landon Jackson out of Arkansas, edge rusher, super athletic with really good size, and he's just really raw right now. He's super talented though. 4.68 40-yard dash, 1.65 10-yard split with a 40.5-inch vertical and a 10-foot 9-inch broad jump. So super good athlete, as well as being 6'6", 270 pounds with 33 1/4-inch arms and 10-inch hands. Just overall, he's just still developing as a pass rusher. He has a decent move set, but I don't think he's really honed in his skills yet. He has a lot of potential. He has a pretty good speed rush while being 6'6", 270 with some good, decent bend, decent get off. He has his hands could be a bit better. I think he can use his length a bit more, but he has decent speed to power, but overall his power moves in general are kind of lacking for someone who's 6'6", 270, and his run defense is okay, but it's nothing incredible. He has a good leg strength to take on and set the edge, but his block shedding is not elite. So yeah, Landon Jackson has a lot of potential, but I don't think he's really there yet, and I think he'll take a year or two to develop into possibly one of the better edge rushers in the NFL. He has a lot of potential, but we'll see if he can get it honed in. And player number 43 for me is going to be Darius Alexander out of Toledo. Second year in a row, we have a Toledo player going pretty high in the draft, which is pretty cool. But Alexander is a interior defensive lineman out of Toledo, and he's a very good athlete and has really good size. He is a older prospect. He will be 24 on draft night. That doesn't really matter as much as the just overall player that you're getting. I think he's a pretty good pass rusher. I think he's a really good run defender. And I think he has a lot of potential. The only question for me is he going to be able to keep up the same ability against NFL level talent? We'll see. I think he has the tools for it. 34-inch arms, 6'4", 305. I think he can be a really good player. Really good size, really good ability to take on blocks in the run game. Really good ability to just shed blocks, make plays in the run game, and he can get to the quarterback and pass pro. So I like Darius Alexander a lot, and I still have a second round grade on him only, but I think he can be a very good player at the NFL level. Alright, and now we have Jack Bech, the wide receiver out of TCU. Bech is just, his calling card is he just doesn't drop the ball. Overall, he has fantastic hands. He's a really just high floor player, and I think he can be good in the slot or the outside of the NFL level, which gives him some versatility. He's a great blocker as well, which is really nice. And overall, his deficiencies for me come with his route running. I don't think he's a great route runner, and separation is a big deal for me. But I think he has incredible hands, and honestly, after the catch, he also makes some stuff happen. He's really tough to bring down, and he does not go down very easily. But he has good size, great hands. I think he can be a really scrappy player at the NFL level, in the slot or outside, and he can carve out himself a pretty good career. I know a lot of people will question having him over Ibuka, but I just think he has more versatility, and I think his blocking ability and his ability to catch the ball is a bit better, because I think he's better in jump ball situations and contested catch situations than Ibuka. But overall, on a down-to-down basis, their hands are pretty similar. But yeah, Jack Bech I like a lot. Second round grade for him, and he comes in at 42 for me. And now at number 40, we have Darian Porter, the corner out of Iowa State. He is just a super athlete. 6'3", 195, 33 and an 1/8 inch arms and 9-inch hands. He runs a 4.3 flat 40-yard dash with a 1.49 10-yard split, 36.5-inch vertical, 10-foot 11-inch broad jump, 6.713 cone, 4.04 20-yard shuttle. Unbelievable in terms of athletics. 6'3" and just can run that fast. Is just, the corner position requires a lot of speed, and he has it. His coverage ability overall is pretty good. I'd say he's good in man coverage, and good in zone as well. I think he can play in either a man or zone scheme if they need him to. He's a pretty solid in run defense, and he's pretty decent ball skills. So I think Darian Porter, even though he's an older prospect, he's one that has a ton of potential. And yeah, I mean, the athlete is just super hard to ignore, and I think if you tap into his potential, he's going to be a crazy good player at the NFL level. So yeah, Darian Porter comes in at number 40 for me. Tons of potential, really good athlete, and I think he's just a really solid player right now. I just know PFF's Trevor Sikkema would be really upset at this spot for Donovan Ezaraku, but I have Donovan Ezaraku down at 35 for me. I do like Donovan Ezaraku as a player, so don't get me wrong. It's just coming off of a Colts fan who drafted Laiatu Latu last year. I loved Laiatu Latu, and in his rookie season, I don't think he lived up to his potential because his power was not there. And at the NFL level, power, at least having some power, is nearly required, and Donovan Ezaraku just really does not have that much power. He won't ever be a number one edge rusher for a team, in my opinion. I think he's really good in terms of his moveset. His moveset is crazy, insane, like Laiatu Latu last year, one of the more refined pass rushers that we've seen coming out of the draft recently. He has good get off, good bend. He's undersized as well, but he's a pretty good athlete, so there's that. And then just run defense is kind of lacking, but he still gives good effort. But overall, his bread and butter is his finesse moves and his hand moves in the pass game. But like I said, that lack of power does scare me a little bit. I'd take him more as a second round pick, but I know he's probably going to end up going in the first round. And as long as he goes late first round, I don't think it's the worst pick in the world. But I think if you take him top 20, I have some real struggles thinking he will ever be a number one edge rusher in the NFL, but I do think he's a very solid player. As a number two edge rusher, he can be very good for you. I love him. I love the idea of him on the Detroit Lions. They can have Aiden Hutchinson and then pair Ezaraku across from him and give Ezaraku those one-on-ones where he can really work his magic in terms of his hands. So Ezaraku comes in at 39. Higher floor but lower ceiling player for me. And now 38 will be Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback out of Colorado. I have talked extensively about Shedeur Sanders before, so I'm not really going to go too much in depth with him in this one. But yeah, just overall, I don't think he's a first round quarterback. And if you want my full thoughts on him, you can go to my top 10 quarterbacks video where I went really in depth to him a bit more. Good accuracy, pretty good processor, just lacking in terms of the tools, and I think he's just not a first round quarterback for me. But yeah, comes in at 38, so still top 50, but yeah, And now is going to be someone that I got to really late in the process. Like, I scouted him really recently, but that's just because he was injured this whole season. Kevin Winston out of Penn State, the safety. I think he's a super, super good player. For what little he showed this season, which was, I think, just one game, he was fantastic. He's a really good athlete, and I think he's going to be a really good free safety at the NFL level. He has great coverage ability, great instincts. I really wish we got to see more of him. He can come down and run defense as well and play in the run, so I think that's really good. But yeah, Kevin Winston, sad his season got cut short, but I think he's a really good player, and he probably won't be drafted as high as he should. But yeah, I like Kevin Winston a lot. Next up, these safeties are both tied for the same grade, but Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame, I also really like. I just have him over Winston just because he played the full season, so we have more tape to look at, but his coverage ability is phenomenal. I think he's going to be a great free safety at the NFL level. His ball skills are incredible. He's got pretty decent size. He could play in run defense as well. He's pretty good in man coverage. He's great in zone coverage. He has good instincts, great ball skills, everything you want in a free safety. He may not be like some incredible athlete, but I do think he is a good athlete. And yeah, Xavier Watts, I think, is a very good player. I wouldn't shy away from taking him at the back end of the first round. Yeah, I like Xavier Watts a lot. I don't know if I'm higher on them in the consensus, wherever people have him, but back in the first round, I would gladly take a shot on him. And now at 35, I'm going to have Gray Zabel, the interior offensive lineman out of North Dakota State. He did play tackle, but he is an interior offensive lineman at the NFL level, I think. He has only 32-inch arms, but he is 6'6", 312, so good size. He's a great athlete as well. I think he moves super well, but his biggest calling card is just the power. He has a lot of power, and pass pro, run, especially in the run blocking, he just looks to bury players, but obviously FCS level competition is nothing crazy, so we'll have to see if he continues it at the NFL level, but I do think he needs to refine some of his technique. I think his hand placement in pass pro is really, really bad, and I think he needs to lower it a lot, but it won't matter as much if he's going to be on the interior. And also, I think he needs to get his pad level down in both areas of pass pro and run blocking, and then his hand placement in the run blocking can improve. But yeah, just great leg drive, great get off initial contact. He drives players off the ball in the run game, and he has good strength in pass pro. So Gray Zabel, very good player, and yeah, I probably would take him at the back end of the first. I don't know about the mid first. If I was desperate for an interior offensive lineman like Seattle, he would probably be the one I would take. So if Kelvin Banks was not available, but we'll get to Kelvin Banks later. So Gray Zabel, very good player, and yeah. Next up is a player that unfortunately had his 2025 cut short as well, and this is going to be Benjamin Morrison at 34 for me, the corner out of Notre Dame. Go Irish. But Benjamin Morrison, good size, he's a pretty good athlete, and he's fantastic in man coverage. He's good in zone coverage as well. He's pretty okay in run defense. He can get in there, but he's not amazing. He has pretty good ball skills, but a big problem with him is his penalties. He's going to draw a lot of flags. He's very physical, which I love. I love physical DBs, but he drew a lot of flags, and he probably will in the NFL level if he plays, that is. He has massive injury concerns. He had a hip injury, and now he has a shoulder injury apparently. So yeah, Benjamin Morrison comes with pretty hefty injury concerns, and I think that probably keeps him out of the first round. Without those, however, I think he is a first round player, but of course injury concerns will drop players. We saw it happen with plenty of players over the past few seasons, so Benjamin Morrison probably going to be another victim to that, but I think he's a 1-2. I have him as a 1-2 with the injury concerns, but without the injury concerns, I'm pretty sure he's a firm first round prospect at corner. But we'll have to see what happens with the injury. But Morrison, very good player. And now at 33, just outside of my top 32, we have Jalen Walker, the edge slash linebacker out of Georgia. I think he's probably an edge at the NFL level, but man, when I first watched him, I loved Jalen Walker. I loved the tape. And then after the combine, I saw the measurables and I just decided all right, I'm going to rewatch him and confirm what I saw. And I ended up a lot lower on him. I think there's still a lot of development to go in terms of both linebacker and edge rusher, but I think he has more potential on the edge. Just the things that scare me are just the size. He's only 6'1", 243, 32-inch arms. All really, really poor in terms of edge rushers. Overall, he still has a lot of development. I think he has power and finesse when rushing off the edge, which is really good. So he's versatile. He defends the run well. He is a fantastic tackler. Will not miss tackles consistently at all. He has good bend, but there's a lot of development to go there. The size is just really a concern, especially with the short arms going against NFL level tackles with good length. I think there's a chance that he just is a bust. I mean, if you told me Jalen Walker in a few seasons is one of the top 5 edge rushers in the NFL, I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. He had tons of potential. But if you also told me, all right, 6 years from now, Jalen Walker's out of the NFL, I would say, yeah, that also makes sense. I mean, he didn't really have a position. A lot of red flags with him, but I think there's tons of potential as well. So Jalen Walker ends up out of my top 32, but I can see the enticement for teams to take him in the top 10. I can't get there with him. Inside my top 32, number 32 will be TreVeyon Henderson, the running back out of Ohio State. As well, I talked about him in my top 10 running backs video, so I'll be a bit more brief. The best speed back in this class with home run hitting ability. He's super, super explosive. He's a great athlete. And he's not one of these players where it's like Jahmyr Gibbs coming out, where he's just kind of one thing. He's a speed guy, go down the field. Obviously Jahmyr Gibbs turned into a lot more than that, but TreVeyon Henderson, he does a lot of different things. He's, as a more speed focused back, he has good contact balance. He breaks tackles, and he drives his feet. He doesn't go down very easily. He's pretty good out of the backfield as well in terms of catching the ball. And in pass pro, he is phenomenal. Just absolutely fantastic in pass protection. And one thing about him though is he has had a long injury history, and he has never been the primary back on the team. So we'll look for that to be a possible downfall of him, possibly, but I think there's too much potential there. The home run hitting ability is fantastic, and I think taking him at the back end of the first round, I definitely would not hate for some NFL team. But yeah, TreVeyon Henderson, inside my top 32. I love TreVeyon Henderson. Home run hitter with some added bonuses. At 31, we have the most athletic safety in NFL history in terms of the combine, Nick Emmanwori out of South Carolina. 6'3", 220, 32.5-inch arms, 9-inch hands, runs a 4.38 40-yard dash with a 1.49 10-yard split, 43-inch vertical, 11-foot, 6-inch broad jump, and 20 reps on the bench press. Just unbelievable from Nick Emmanwori in terms of an athletic standpoint. And I think on the field you can see a lot of those athletic abilities show up. He's a super tall safety. I think he's a strong safety at the NFL level. I don't really trust him deep. His coverage ability needs to improve, I think, especially in terms of zone coverage. I think his instincts are just really not there in terms of zone coverage. I think his man coverage is better. He's pretty good man coverage. He's got good ball skills, but his bread and butter for me is in the run game. He's a fantastic run defender in terms of safeties, and really reminds me of Derwin James in that way. I think he can be a Derwin James-esque player in the NFL. And I would also just take him at the back end of the first. I don't think I would take him super high because of the deficiencies in zone coverage for me, but he has a lot of potential, and obviously he's literally the most athletic safety in NFL history. So yeah, Nick Emmanwori, tons of potential, just needs to improve the coverage ability, but he's pretty good in run defense. So yeah. And now cracking my top 30 is one of the most divisive players in this draft, Shemar Stewart out of Texas A&M. He also, I'm pretty sure, is possibly the most athletic edge rusher in terms of the combine history. I'm not completely sure on that, but 6'5". He was listed at 290 at Texas A&M. He showed up the combine at 267 or something. So I think his playing weight might be around like 270, 275. 34 and an eighth inch arms, 9 and 5/8 inch hands, 4.59 40 158 10-yard split, 40-inch vert, 10 foot 11-inch broad jump. Just unbelievable athlete in terms of Shemar Stewart. And just the problem is he's really raw. Like, he just doesn't know how to play football right now. He has one pass rush move, and that's I'm going to run through your face. And I'm going to be honest, it didn't really work all that much. He's not a speed finesse guy at all. At least he just hasn't developed that. He doesn't really use his arms well. He doesn't use his length well. He's a really good run defender, I'll give him that. There's a reason why he is not putting up production. It's just, I get it, he had a lot of pressures, but he's just super raw. He doesn't really know what he's doing in terms of rushing the passer. He has all the tools, and that's why I would be willing to take a late first round flyer on him. But I don't think I'd be willing to take him top 20 just because he's such a boom or bust player. And yes, he has all this athletic ability, but if he can never put it together in terms of pass rush, then how far does a really good athlete get you? I don't know. So Shemar Stewart inside the top 30 based off his potential alone, but he still has a long ways to get there. Next up, 29, I will have Kenneth Grant, the athletic interior defensive lineman out of Michigan. So Kenneth Grant, 6'4", 331 pounds, 33.5-inch arms, 10 and 1/8 inch hands. Just, you could see it on the field, especially when he chased down the Penn State running back last season. He's a really good athlete, especially for his size, and he's overall, just right now, he's a really good run defender, and he could be a nose tackle for you. He could be a 3-tech, a shade, anything you want, I think, because he's just so athletic. But I think his best fit is as a nose tackle because he's just super big, he's strong, he can anchor himself pretty well. Just great in the run defense. He can shed blocks instantly sometimes, but if he can't, then he can hold his ground pretty well. Still developing as a pass rusher, but he's got the tools for it, and he's flashed really good pass rush ability. It's just he needs to get more consistent at it, but a lot of potential for Kenneth Grant. And let me tell you, playing against this guy in high school, terrifying. And needless to say, he absolutely wrecked the game single-handedly. So that was fun. But yeah, super good player, a lot of potential. I don't know if I would really value him taking him super high just because the pass rush might not be there, but Kenneth Grant, very good player. And yeah, next up we have another interior defensive lineman. This is going to be Walter Nolen out of Ole Miss. Him and Kenneth Grant have the same grade, but I think Walter Nolen is more versatile and has a higher ceiling. Nolen, not great in terms of length and size, but he's 6'4", under 300 pounds, only 32.5-inch arms with 9.5-inch hands. But just, he does everything pretty well. Like, he's good in run defense, he's good at rushing the passer, and he has potential to get better at both. He's still a super young player, 21 years old. Very, very good, and he has a lot of potential. So, yeah, Walter Nolen just comes a little higher than Kenneth Grant just because I think he's more potential, and I think he's more versatile. He could play like 3-tech, 4-tech, whatever you want. So Walter Nolen, very good player, and has a super high ceiling. He's not all the way there yet. There's also some maturity concerns with him, but I wouldn't be too concerned with those if I were a general manager. In 27, we are going to have Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. Just super big bodied wide receiver, 6'4", 214 pounds. Also runs a 4.4, which is super nice. Really good hands, and overall for a big receiver, he's a good athlete and a good route runner as well. He separates pretty well in the medium area. I do think deep he does struggle to get open, but doesn't matter all that much when you're 6'4" and just kind of can go over the corner to get the ball instead of going around him. So great jump ball ability from Jaden Higgins. overall for a big receiver, he separates better than most, runs a 4.4, and after the catch, he's okay. Nothing's crazy, but he's pretty good. Yeah, I like Jaden Higgins, and I think he could be a very good X at the NFL level. I would take him at the back end of the first round if I needed a player. Maybe if I'm the Packers, maybe if I'm the Commanders and want a big body guy. They probably have other needs to address, but Jaden Higgins could be an option. But yeah, Jaden Higgins, a very good player. Yeah, I have a 1 to 2 grade on him, pretty high. And he comes in pretty high for me at 27. Next up, speed kills for me, and Maxwell Hairston definitely has speed. Especially at the corner position, speed is very, very important. And when you run a 4.28 40-yard dash, that'll do. Hairston did have his season cut short due to injury, but in the games he played, he looked really, really good. Super, super good athlete. Obviously 4.28 40, 1.50 10-yard split, 39.5-inch vert, 10-foot 9-inch broad jump. He is only 5'11", and he's pretty light. So I think that does impact his ability to play press man. I don't think he's a press guy at the NFL level at all. He would have the speed to make up for it, but I think he's way better in off-zone coverage. I think off-zone, off-man, anything like that, he could be really good. He has good zone coverage, good man coverage. He's physical as well, which is nice to pair with that speed, so you're rarely going to see players flying by him. In run defense, he could be a bit better, but he just is light. He's a lighter player. He has good ball skills, and for a physical corner, he doesn't draw too many flags, which is cool. But yeah, he has good instincts, good speed, which is really important at corner position. I do like Maxwell Hairston quite a bit, and I think he's going to be a really good player at the NFL level. I would take him if I were the Rams, and I really valued corner over everything else. I would take him at the back end of the first. I think the Rams could be a very good spot for him. So Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky is number 26. Inside the top 25 now, we're now halfway through the list. Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. Just a really rough 2024 for him, really. Texas A&M just asked him to be something he isn't. Waiting at the combine, he's 6'2", 260, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands, so all right size. 260 is more his playing weight. At Texas A&M, they had him playing at, 280, 275, somewhere around there. They asked him to be more of a hold-the-line, run defense kind of guy, and he was pretty good run defense, but he's still 20 years old, so there's still more time for him to develop. He's good as a power and speed rusher for me. As a pass rusher, I think he's got some versatility there, but I just really need to see a lot more for him, for him to be a more higher end first round prospect. I think he's got the tools and the ability, but we really got to hope what he was at Texas A&M isn't what he is in the NFL. I don't think he will be, but he has the potential, and I like him more than Shamar Stewart just because I think he just has a higher floor, and he's more of a pure, actual pass rusher. I think he'd be a 4-3 defensive end for you. I think he'd be a 3-4 outside linebacker for you. He's got some versatility there. So Nick Scorton, I have pretty high in my top 25. So yeah. And now, same grade as Nick Scorton, but I think he has higher potential. James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee is my number 24 prospect in this draft. James Pierce is someone who has been falling down boards a bit because of apparent character concerns. We'll see on that part, but I'm just talking strictly based off the film. I don't think he's a true first-round edge rusher. He's a really good athlete, runs a 4.47 40-yard dash, 1.56 10-yard split. Very good. He's 6'5", only 245, so he is light, but his play style requires him to be light. He's a super speed guy. Speed, get off the edge. He does try some speed to power, and he had more power than I was expecting this season, especially after I watched his 2023, where there was just kind of no power at all. He did develop some power this year, which is pretty good. It's still not great, and I think it's going to be worse against NFL tackles, of course. I don't know. He's not really good against run defense, and I think his first season he might just have to be a designated pass rusher, and he really only has a few moves. I don't think his hands are very refined. He has good get off, great bend. He's a great speed rusher with some speed to power capabilities. but I think other than that, he's just kind of lacking in terms of moves, and his hands and arms can get better and more refined. So I think James Pierce is a 1 to 2 player for me, back into the first, early second. I don't know if I'd be comfortable taking him top 20 in the draft, but yeah. And now we have the future number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami, at number 23. My QB1 in this class, and I have changed my stance. I have originally gone out and said I wouldn't take him number 1 overall. I would. I'll be completely honest. Now I've been converted. I would take him number 1 if I was the Titans, and that's what they're going to do. So good on them. Ward, again, I go over him in more detail in my top 10 quarterbacks rankings, but great arm strength, great ability to extend the play, pretty good accuracy. Decision making needs to come a long way in processing, but I think he can be a franchise level quarterback. He's got the tools for it for sure. Now, my number 1 safety in this class, which I think has been more consensus over the past month, Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Definitely the best safety in this class in my opinion. His zone coverage and instincts down the field are just fantastic, and he makes plays. Like, he goes up and makes some of the most crazy interceptions you will ever see. He has a really, really good highlight tape. But I think in terms of versatility, I like him more as just a pure deep free safety. I know a lot of people talk about his ability to come up and play the run, and I don't like his man coverage as much as a lot of people do. I think his man coverage is just in the slot, and I think his run defense is a little lacking. So yeah, he's also not some fantastic athlete. On film, he looks more athletic than what he posted at the combine, so I'd lean more towards the film and say he's just a fine athlete. He's nothing crazy, but he's got good size overall. Super young player, really good in the back end, good zone coverage, great ball skills. So I think Malachi Starks can be a very good player, especially at safety, and I think he could be worth a decently high pick in this first round. This is a player that I am very high on, much higher than consensus. My second ranked interior defensive lineman in this class is going to be Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State. The best run defending defensive lineman in this draft. Easily for me. Unfortunately, that's kind of all he can do, but I think the value's there for a super good run defending defensive lineman. Obviously, with running backs kind of coming back onto the scene, defending the run is going to be a bigger emphasis for teams next season, and I think Tyleik Williams helps you do that. He's great. He holds down double teams, he sheds blocks, he makes tackles in the backfield. I mean, he's everything you want in a run defender. He's big, 6'3", 334. Yeah, he's fantastic in run defense. In terms of rushing the passer, he can get there occasionally, but he's just not super good at it. As a pure run defending defensive lineman, he's the best in this class. And so I wish there was more versatility to Tyleik Williams, but I don't think you have to take him off the field on third down. I think he can occasionally get to the passer, but it's not really his specialty. But really good run defender. I like him a lot. He's my second ranked interior defensive lineman. Not consensus opinion there, but I think so. I love Tyleik Williams, and I would take him pretty high in this first round. Next up, we have the best off-ball linebacker in this class, without a doubt, Jihaad Campbell out of Alabama. So overall, I may not be as high on Jihaad Campbell as a lot of people are. I think you take him in the first round pretty comfortably. I don't know if I would take him as high as nearly top 10 as some people have considered him to go, but I do think he's a very good player, and yeah, he's super athletic, good size as well. I think he's actually better in coverage than a lot of people give him credit for. I really like his coverage. I think in run defense, he's good. Like, he's pretty good. I don't think he's elite or anything in terms of run defense, but he's a lot of potential. He can play off the edge as well. I don't know if I would be comfortable just having him straight rushing the passer on third down off the edge, but he can play there. He can hold the line in run defense. So just really good player for Jihaad Campbell. I would take him in the first round, but I wouldn't take him super high, like some people have suggested. So I am a little bit lower on him in that sense, but he is a top 20 player for me. So I do like Jihaad Campbell as an off-ball linebacker. A lot of potential, and he has a pretty high floor as well. So yeah. Now a player I would say I am higher on in the consensus a little bit, is Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. Really like him as a zone corner. His zone instincts are incredible in my opinion, fantastic. He has really good size as well, runs a 4.4 340. The explosiveness might not be there, 1.60 10-yard split, but the long speed is. And yeah, I don't know, I really like Trey Amos. I would take him in the first round for sure. I think he's good in man coverage. I think he's way better in zone coverage, but I think his man coverage he can play. So I think the Rams would be a good fit for him. I'd say the Packers would be a good fit for him as well, as if they continue to play zone coverage. It depends on what Jeff Hafley wants to do. Yeah, I like Trey Amos a lot. I think he's a round 1 to 2 player. Next up, we are going to have Oregon tackle Josh Conerly Jr. So overall, with Josh Conerly, he has good size overall. Good size. He's a pretty good athlete, pretty fluid in terms of movement. I'd say he's really balanced in terms of run and pass blocking. I'd say he moves pretty well. The strength might not be all there for me. He's fine in terms of pass pro strength, run blocking strength, but I think he can get a little better. I like his leg drive in the run game. He has good pad level, good technique. I don't think he does anything fantastically, but I think he's really solid in all aspects. So Conerly, high floor player, not as high of a ceiling as some of these other tackles we're going to talk about, but I think he can be a really solid player at the NFL level. And if I'm the Texans and Josh Simmons is not on the board, Josh Conerly better be the pick. And now coming in at number 17, we will have another divisive edge rusher, and that will be Mykel Williams. Now you might ask why I have Mykel so much higher than Shemar Stewart. I just think Mykel showed more as a pure actual pass rusher than Shemar Stewart. Really high potential player. I mean, he's got excellent size, and he's got tons of potential. He has good power. He has good speed, finesse moves. They just need to get more consistent. Like, we see flashes of these things, but they're just not consistent enough to where I would be like, yeah, this is a first round player. I think he will go first round, but there's always a chance he could drop to the second round because of the lack of really good production and just pure actual pass rush on film. He did get hurt this season, so that did hurt his ability to play it at 100%. But he's also a really good run defender, so you'll be getting that instantly. But Mykel Williams, he needs to hone in his skills. I think he's got tons of potential. I think he showed more than Shemar Stewart as an actual pass rusher. I think he knows how to play football more than Shemar Stewart. I still think he's still learning, but I think he's got a lot of potential, and I would take him with a relatively high pick, just because I think there's a lot there, and when healthy, hopefully he's a better player than what he was last season. Coming in at my very first round graded player in this draft class, my top 16, Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. Just really good pure receiving threat for Colston Loveland. I think he's a solid blocker, but he's not crazy good. But I think the route running and the receiving, the hands are all there for Colston Loveland. I think he's a first round tight end. Yeah, I'd love to see him on the Colts, that's for sure. 6'6" as well, so good size. 248, 32 and 3/4 inch arms, 10-inch hands. He's a little light, but I mean, he moves great for his size, and 6'6" as well, so he can go up and get it, that's for sure. And yeah, just a really high floor, high ceiling player in Colston Loveland. He's my first round graded player on this list. So just a testament to how not great this draft class is. But yeah, Colston Loveland. And now next up at number 15, we are going to have Will Campbell, the tackle out of LSU. I know I am significantly lower on Will Campbell than a lot of people. A lot of people have him as a top 10, top 5 player. I just don't think he's a tackle, really. I am concerned about the length. The arm length is only 32 and 5/8 inches. He's a good athlete, so I'll give him that. And but I think his pad level is pretty high. I think in the run game he's not all that aggressive. I think if he does transition to guard, which I think he's gonna be drafted at tackle, I don't know if he's going to be good at tackle, I'm going to be honest. But I think at guard, if he will have to get more aggressive in the run game. I really don't think he's a tackle, man. I think the length is going to expose him a little bit. I think the pad level's a bit too high. You saw in the game against Shamar Stewart on the first play in the run game, when Shamar Stewart actually decided to use his length, Will Campbell couldn't do anything and he got blown off the ball. I don't know. Will Campbell does kind of scare me a little bit because I don't know if he's a tackle. I don't think he's a tackle, and at guard, I don't know if he has the mentality, the play strength, the aggressiveness. He might, I don't know. I still have a first round grade on him, but I am skeptical of him. And I do see why people have him so high, because he has a pretty good floor and he's a very smart player. But I don't know. We'll have to see with Will Campbell, but I really don't think he's a tackle. And at guard, he could be very good, but we'll see. Now, next up at number 14, we will have the wide receiver out of Missouri, Luther Burden III. Just a super, super fun player. And I wish his 2024 went better, because his 2023 tape was really, really awesome. But yeah, I mean, he's one of the best run after catch receivers we've seen in a while. I mean, he breaks tackles, he's elusive, he's explosive, he makes you miss, he's super hard to tackle in the open field, super tough to bring down. He has great hands as well, he catches everything pretty much. I think he does have inside-outside flexibility, just because I think his route running and physicality is a bit better than someone like Egbuka. I don't know. I think he's a primary slot, though, but I think he can play outside if you need him to. He catches in traffic well. His route running needs to be more consistent and better, but I think there are flashes of great route running in there. He runs a 4.41, which is pretty fast. I think there's a lot of potential for Luther Burden. I wish he had a better 2024. I still think that player from 2023 is in there, because 2024 he dealt with a lot of issues, specifically just the overall offense around him, the quarterback situation, not great. But Burden has a lot of potential, really, really fun player, and I think he's a definite first round pick for me. And now at 13, I have Kelvin Banks Jr., the tackle out of Texas. I really like Kelvin Banks. I think he can play tackle, and I think he can be a good tackle at the NFL level. But I think he could be an amazing guard. I think his best attribute is when he's run blocking. I think pass pro, he still has some stuff to work on, but I think he's a great run blocker. And I think you can hide some of his pass pro deficiencies, which for me is the flexibility and the ability to bend with edge rushers around the edge and the whole overall finesse. I think he's good in pass pro in terms of strength. He's got good size, all that. But I think the finesse is really what's holding him back in terms of a pass protector right now at tackle. I think you can hide that if you put him at guard. I think he is asked to do a lot less in terms of movement. I think as a guard, he would be one of the best in the NFL, for sure. But I think also the value is there at tackle. If you're going to take him high, the value is definitely there. So Kelvin Banks, I think, can play tackle or guard. I think he'd be an amazing guard. I think he can be a good tackle with some development. So yeah, I like Kelvin Banks a lot. First round grade for sure. I have him higher than Will Campbell. But great size and overall a lot of potential there for Kelvin Banks. And now at number 12 is a player that I really wanted to make my top 10, but just didn't happen. Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina, the running back. Super, super good running back prospect. I wish Genty wasn't in this class, because Hampton is just so good. He would be the RB1 in most other classes, that's for sure. He's a true first round running back. I think his vision is great. I think he's good as a speed and power back, but obviously primarily a power back. I think he can make you miss in the open field. He's explosive. He may not have great long speed, but 4.46 is nothing to scoff at for sure. He's explosive. He gets to that top speed really quickly. His contact balance is incredible. He keeps his legs driving on contact. He's great in short yardage situations. He has a good stiff arm. He can run you over. He breaks tackles, and he's excellent in pass protection as well. He's a great athlete, great size. He has everything you want in a running back. He's not a great route runner or anything. He's not some amazing receiving back out of the backfield, but he catches the ball pretty well. And just overall, I love Omarion Hampton. I think he's well deserving of a first round pick and a top 15 pick at that. Omarion Hampton, great player. And yeah, he comes in at 12 for me in my top 50. Now, just missing out on the top 10 for me is a player I really like in Matthew Golden. I made a whole video about Matthew Golden if you guys want to go watch that for my full thoughts, but I think he's a great player. Super, I mean, I didn't think that 429 speed was in there, but apparently it is. On film, he's definitely slower than a 429, so, but he's got great hands, he's the best separator in this class. I think he's just incredible. I think I comp him to Stefon Diggs. I think he's an amazing player. So yeah, Matthew Golden comes in just outside of my top 10. Now, just cracking the top 10 is going to be Mike Green, the edge rusher out of Marshall. I made a whole video on Mike Green a while ago, but yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about Mike Green. I think he's the second best pass rusher in this class. His get off is amazing. He has great bend. He has a great spin move, speed rush, ghost, counter inside. I think his hands can be a bit more refined, but I think overall they're pretty good. He has some speed to power to him as well. He put up 28 reps on the bench press, so he's got some strength to him. And as a run defender, he's actually pretty good for his size. 32-inch arms is a little concerning, but he doesn't win with length. He wins with speed and his excellent movement skills. So Mike Green is definitely a top 10 player for me. Love Mike Green. And yeah. And now at number 9, we are going to have one of the biggest risers in this draft process, Armand Membou from Missouri. Before people started getting into this draft class, nobody knew who this guy was, and then all of a sudden, now he's a top 10 player, which, for good reason. He had some of the best tape in this entire tackle class, for sure. He has good size, he has good length. A lot of people said he should probably move to guard, but after the combine, people saw the length and the measurables, and they're like, yeah, he could stick at tackle, and he might be going to the Jets at 7, so we'll see. But I mean, he's deservingly so. Tied for my best rated pass blocker in this entire class. His technique is fantastic. He has great pad level, great hand placement, great anchor. He has great flexibility and finesse to move with pass rushers around the edge. His run blocking is also just pretty good. He may not be super strong, but I mean, he gets the job done in run blocking for sure. He drives his feet. He moves with the defenders pretty well. Yeah, Armand Membou, great player, some of the best tape in this entire tackle class, and shut down plenty of premium pass rushers along the way, so he is battle tested. Armand Membou, definitely worth a top 10 pick in my opinion. Now, number 8 is actually going to be Ashton Jeanty, the running back out of Boise State. There's not much to say about Jeanty. I mean, just excellent vision, some of the best contact balance we've ever seen from a running back prospect. He drives his feet, he keeps going, he breaks tackles. He's fast, explosive, elusive in the open field. He doesn't have the best size, but I mean, he's built super well. Pass pro, he's great in pass protection. I mean, he catches out of the backfield. He just does everything and just does not go down easily. Not much to say about Jeanty. I will say I am a little bit lower on him. I don't have him as a blue chip prospect like some people do. I think he's a first round running back, but I think him and Hampton are actually closer than a lot of people think. Yeah, Jeanty, very good player, and I think he's going to be a stud at the next level. And yeah. And now number 7 will be Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State. I have a whole video on Tyler Warren as well if you want to go watch that for my full thoughts, but I'll be brief here. Great hands, great ability to go up and get it, great size, pretty good route runner overall, but could be better. Great run blocker. Okay, he's a good run blocker, not a great run blocker, and great after the catch. Super good player, worth a top 10 pick for sure, especially in this draft class. But yeah, Tyler Warren, great player, and yeah, easily a top 10 player for me. And now number 6, just missing out on the top 5 for me, will be Mason Graham out of Michigan. Just for me, far and away the best defensive lineman in this interior defensive lineman in this draft class. Great ability to get to the passer. He has a good ability to defend a run. He's super well rounded. The length is a big concern, and I don't think he's some great prospect, but I think he's definitely a good one at the interior defensive line spot. But Mason Graham is certainly a very good player. High floor, high ceiling as well. And he's been one of the best defensive linemen over the past 2 seasons in the entirety of college football. So I think he can be one of the better ones in the NFL as well. And now, just cracking my top 5 players in this draft class will be Tetairoa McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. So overall, Tet is certainly a very good prospect. I think the hate he's getting is a little too much. It took a while for me to come around on him, but overall, I do think he's a very solid first round wide receiver in this draft. But I don't think he's some elite receiver prospect. Like last year, he probably would have ranked 4th for me behind the big 3 of Harrison, Neighbors, and Odunze. He's certainly a great player. I mean, 6'4", 219, the way he moves, it's just not a combination you find very often. Great hands, can go up and get it. Route running is really where the troubles start. Just overall, especially deep, he does not get open very often, but he's a good mover in the middle of the field. But I think his route running still needs to improve to be a consistent separator at the NFL level. After the catch, he's very good for his size as well. I think it's one of his better attributes, is he just runs so well for his size after the catch. He's an alright blocker as well. But yeah, Tetairoa McMillan, you just don't really get this combination of skill sets too often, and I think he is a top 5 player in this class for me. Probably would not be in most other draft classes. And next up, we have a player that I've never left the hype train on, and that is Will Johnson out of Michigan. My number 4 player in this entire draft class. I get it, he's not an athlete. I don't care. I think on film, he's athletic enough to play corner, and I don't think it's going to limit him as much as a lot of people think. He's physical, so that helps, and I think his instincts in zone coverage are incredible. I think he's the best zone cover corner in this class, maybe tied with Hunter, which we'll get to later, but just great size at the corner position as well. 6'1", 194, pretty good movement. Man coverage was a bit lacking in 2024, but you saw a lot of good man coverage in 2023. I think he's a better zone corner than a man corner right now, but he's balanced at both. I think his zone coverage is incredible. Run defense can be better. He has great ball skills though, and does not draw a lot of penalties, so that's great. But yeah, great in press coverage, physicality. His arms are shorter than you would think, or than you would want, but I think the zone coverage makes up for it. I think he can be scheme versatile. I think he's very instinctive. I think he's got great size. He's a fine athlete, in my opinion. Will Johnson, great player, and I never left the hype train on him, and I stand to see that he's probably going to be a Pro Bowl level player at the NFL level. And next up is another player that I am planting my flag on. Number 3 in this entire draft class for me, Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. The best tackle tape in this class easily before he got hurt. Unfortunately, he did have a pretty bad injury, but he's already recovering from it, so he should be good to go in time for his rookie season. A lot of people have said he would have been their number 1 tackle if he never got hurt, and I'm sticking to that. I really think he's the best tackle in this class, and I know he's probably going to go later in the draft, but I would take him top 5. I mean, he's just unbelievable. The only reason he's not a blue chip prospect for me is because he was hurt, so we didn't see the rest of the season. But overall, just fantastic in terms of strength, finesse. He can bend with edge rushers. He has a fantastic anchor, and his pad level is literally perfect. Yeah, his hand placement's pretty good. It could be improved, but Josh Simmons, great in pass protection and is a great run blocker as well. Drives players off the ball. Great get off initial contact. Yeah, just Josh Simmons, just fantastic tape at tackle. I really think he's the best tackle in this class, and I'm not shying away from it just because of an injury for me. So Josh Simmons, number 3 player in this class, number 1 tackle. I think he's going to be an all-pro level player at the NFL level, and the only reason he's not a blue chip prospect is because of the injury. And now the top 2 are going to be pretty chalk, but my number 2 player in this class will be Abdul Carter, and I am slightly lower on Abdul Carter than a lot of people. I know I still have him as my number 2 ranked player, which is not uncommon. I don't think he's a blue chip prospect for me. I really don't. I do have some concerns with the lack of power. The size concerns are there for me. Fantastic athlete, like one of the better athletes we've seen. I think he's very versatile. You can use him in a ton of different ways on your defense. His get off is incredible. His bend is incredible. I think his hands and arms could be a little more refined as well. But yeah, Abdul Carter, not the greatest prospect I've ever seen on the edge position, but I see why people love him. He's not a blue chip prospect for me. I can see where it's coming from. I just have concerns with the size, the moveset, the hands, and he's just not a great run defender in terms of like holding the edge. Especially, I think that's gonna get even worse against NFL tackles. But the power is also not there, as I talked earlier. Power is a pretty important thing in the NFL, and I just don't really think he has it. But the athleticism and the get off are so incredible that you can't really overlook that. So number 2 player in this draft class for me, Abdul Carter out of Penn State. And my number 1 player in this entire draft class, my only ranked blue chip prospect in the class, Travis Hunter out of Colorado. Cornerback and wide receiver. I think he's a better corner than wide receiver, but with the way things are shaping up in the draft, he's probably going to end up playing primary receiver with the Cleveland Browns. But as a corner, which is, I think, his best position, elite ball skills. Obviously, he has elite ball skills as a receiver, so obviously as a corner, even better. I think he's great in man coverage. He's great in zone coverage. He's got decent size. He's a little light, though, so he's probably going to play a little less press man in the NFL, but he's got good zone coverage instincts. He's physical as well in man coverage, which I love. And for a slimmer corner, he actually comes up and plays the run really well as well. He's good. He's a good tackler. He's willing to come up. He sheds blocks. Yeah, he's just got good size, pretty decent length. He's super young, super versatile, and as a receiver, he's great after the catch. He has fantastic hands. He's a great player overall. And as a receiver, I'd like to see his route running get a bit more consistent. But as a corner, I think he's really awesome. And he's my only ranked blue chip prospect in this entire draft class. So Travis Hunter, number 1 in the 2025 draft class. So that is my top 50 players in the 2025 draft class. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more NFL and draft content. I will have my final mock draft coming up soon as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Pump fake, Nussmeier goes back shoulder, touchdown!